The wait is over. The wait is over.
Coming to you on Berlin time.
It is the summer of Stiller.
Summer of Stiller.
Summer of Stiller. Summer of Stiller. Summer of Stiller. Summer of Stiller. Gonna be Stiller. Gonna be Stiller. Benjamin Stiller. Benjamin Stiller.
All right, everybody, and we're back. Big thank you to Colton for joining us. He had to go, as you may have just heard. He was a little sick, so he retired early as an early class, and he left it up to Justin and I. It's only fitting that we started this summer of Stiller, so it's up to us to put it in the ground.
It's like you said about moving on to Madagascar 3 from the first two Madagascars. Moving on to the Madagascar episode from the other Summer of Stiller episodes is kind of bittersweet. Because it's bitter that the Summer of Stiller's coming to an end. The endless summer. The Beach Boys' endless summer. The Florida vanity license plate endless summer is simply that's like your phrasing of putting it into the ground.
Yeah, I thought that was good.
Not necessarily running it into the ground, I hope, but
and
maybe
I
also
think,
that.
You know what I think, Justin? I think people are taking this for granted, okay? Because there have been so many people that have come up to me or, commented or slid up on a DM and said, Summer of Stiller, hey, jackass, it's October, it's November, it's December. Okay, like, I get it. I was going to say something. Anyway.
I'm not black, I'm OJ.
Yeah,
okay.
Literally. Do you know how, who made all the profit? Wait, what is it? What is the word? I don't know.
It's more important than spending all your money at the strip club. Credit.
Profit. Was it you who, for a while, I thought that he was saying profit?
Yeah.
And we were discovered that he was saying credit.
I listened to that this morning out of just like a whim. I woke up from like a dream and was like, I need to listen to that song, bro. So I listened to it this morning and I was expecting him to say profit, and then literally jump scared me when he said credit.
Jump scared. Imagine you're just like on the bus going to school, headphones on, profit, you just jump.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think they're taking it for granted. All right, because it's so easy to sit on your high and mighty horse and be like, oh, Summer of Stiller. Oh, it's not even summer. What are these guys doing? They don't know how to do anything. Well, guess what? First of all, I bet you didn't even listen to an episode of Summer of Stiller. The people who are saying that, and it's ending. But when you do listen to these episodes in a few months, you go, oh, well, let me check out that Summer of Stiller. Let me binge Summer of Stiller. What is this all about? Because I need some more filmatic in my life. And you go, oh my god, it was perfect. It never ended. It kept going. There was so much content. They talked about Secret Life of Walter Mitty for 4 hours. That was great. Oh my god, why is there... I wish there was more. I was wrong. And you know what? You're right. You were wrong. If there's anything I learned about a good business, it's always tell the customer they're wrong. And you, my friends, are wrong. And I hate you. All right. Come on. Hey, what were you going to say?
That's a good question. Something about... I don't know.
It's all good.
Yeah, I don't even remember. It was something... I do think it's awesome. I remember there was a time when you and I were genuinely like, shit, should we end the Summer of Stiller? Like, because it's like it's obviously not summer anymore. Like,
yeah.
And we're like, maybe it'll get funnier if we keep going. Well, we were correct. We were simply correct.
Yes.
It did get funnier. I think.
Yeah.
The fact that it's like the end of January.
That's what I think also beautiful. People who say that don't understand is that we're fully aware. You know what I mean? Like Casey, I think it was Casey.
Do you not realize is January. Let me look up the exact date summer ends, because I'm pretty sure it doesn't go into January.
Yeah, like the way Casey said it to me, it like made it some sort of joke where it's like, "Oh, it's summer of Stiller. It's freaking December," and I'm like, it's like I had to explain that it gets funnier as it goes on. You know, it's like, why is this concept so foreign to people? Why do they think that we're somehow like unaware that, or like we're?
Right.
I mean, we are kind of. Anyway, my point being, you guys are gonna miss this, and you're gonna be very happy that we spent as long as we did, and you're gonna be going, "Oh my god, I cannot wait for Summer of Smithville." No, I'm just kidding. We don't have to do that. We'll figure out what we're gonna do.
No, remember we're gonna do Winter of Wahlberg.
Sure, there's Winter of Wahlberg. There's January of James Kevin. There's
Dude, true.
what else? Yeah.
Well, we're about to start the February of
Dude, I cannot think of
Freeman.
Freeman. Dude, are we gonna watch Oblivion, Bruce Almighty?
No, dude, Martin Freeman.
Yeah, you're talking about Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, I know, I was, obviously.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
funny to pull Oblivion out of your ass is the first Morgan Freeman movie, bro. Dude, I was like browsing Netflix the other day, just things to watch, and I saw Oblivion, and like the fucking picture had Morgan Freeman in it. Literally, like, I was like, dude, I completely forgot his ass was in that movie, bro. Don't get me wrong, I like Morgan Freeman, I just did not remember anything about Oblivion.
Oblivion was very formative for me in my early middle school days when it came out. I watched it in the theater. I also watched it at home. It was a big movie for me. I do want to rewatch it. I don't know how it would hold up. I don't even know what the general consensus is, if there is any.
If I had to guess, I don't know why, but I have a feeling people didn't like it.
That's probably a good
I
guess.
remember watching it and thinking it was like insanely cool. I literally remember nothing about it, but I remember being like, dude, that was like a really awesome sci-fi movie.
Yeah,
So it
same.
definitely needs to be rewatched.
Yeah, because there was also some trippy sort of like Christopher Nolan tier stuff where it's like
Right,
clones
exactly.
and
Don't
who's
spoil
the real
it.
one.
Don't even spoil it for me.
No,
because
I don't
wanna,
even
like,
remember. Actually, never mind. I do remember. But my point being, it was crazy back then because obviously I hadn't seen any Nolan movies at that point or anything like it.
Right,
So it's
right.
like, what? Anyway. So
Yeah.
that aside,
That
let's talk
aside,
about.
yeah. So he was in Bruce and Evan Almighty, Shawshank Redemption.
That's hilarious. That's a great
Thank
joke.
you.
That is literally like so filmatic.
Yeah.
Is to get trapped in like 4 segues within segues, and then be like, "What are we talking about?" And then go back 1 segue, and then go back another. And then...
Yeah.
Anyway, to really get back to it, Justin and I consumed every Madagascar short film.
True. Not nearly as many as there were for Shrek. Not nearly the same kind of undertaking.
No, definitely not the same kind of undertaking. But then again, we did kind of make up for it by subjecting ourselves to Megamind and
Subjecting.
Elmo. Okay, by subjecting,
I
mean,
enjoyed both, honestly.
Okay, subjecting was the wrong word because I did
Oh
enjoy both.
shit, dude, we forgot to get Colton's ratings for Madagascar.
Damn, we'll text him. Dude, should Colton's ratings like have more weight on the average? Because he only has 2 ratings out of all the Summer Stiller movies. Or 3, whatever, you know what I mean?
Right.
I think we should give him like extra 0.7 weight or I don't know, like some weird like.
But we're not giving Connor extra weight for.
No. We actually give Connor negative weight.
It gives points to the ones he didn't vote for.
Yeah.
Hold on, wait. What was the one that Connor did with us?
Zoolander.
Yes, obviously. Yeah. I want to look up his. Dude, you know it's bad when I have to like scroll consistently to get to the Summer Stiller ratings in my notes.
Oof, that is rough.
Last edited November 12th.
Sheesh.
It has not been that long, has it?
I think it has.
That's fucked up. Meyerowitz, yeah, fair enough.
Dude, we made the longest Solanic ever, and then it broke us for a few months.
Yeah.
But yeah, so for those who didn't catch it before, we will be doing a summary of Stiller. So it'll be a post-season episode, a bonus episode, if you will, where we go through all these rankings, adjust them for finality, and give you a solid, we would decide format, but some sort of list, whether it's a tier list, a straight up list, some sort of definitive ranking. Well, it has to be a straight up list because we're giving numbers. So a definitive ranking of our take on Ben Stiller's films, and that'll be coming to you promptly. So, with that said, was there something you wanted to read what Connor rated, or?
Oh yeah, he gave Zoolander 2 a 7.5.
Oh, oh my god.
Which is literally 4 points higher than both of our rating.
Sheesh. What if we just reverse Connor's ratings? So instead of 7.5, it's a 5.7.
Or what if we do the difference between 10 and 7.5? That's his rating.
Okay, I like that.
So it's actually a 2.5. He rated it lower than us. I want to go back and see the clip of him justifying giving it that rating, because I'm sure we gave him shit for it in the moment.
I want to hear the clip. I want to go back and see the clip of Connor justifying a slur.
What did he say? What did he yell?
He's like,
It was not a mistake!
Guys, please go back and watch the Zoolander episode. Great comedy.
Where Connor... I'm not even going to say what he calls Will Ferrell, but it's fucked up.
He calls Will Ferrell the most heinous slur you can think of. And
yeah.
It is not what you would expect.
Yeah. Okay.
When you hear it, you will shit bricks. Did we? The question is, I don't know. I don't think we rated the shorts on Shrek, did we?
We didn't rate any of the Shrek, I don't think.
Oh, true. No, but we did it. Okay, I remember. At the end of the Shrek episode, one of us asked each other, how would we rate the Shreks? And I remember explicitly, because I re-listened to it to find a clip a few months ago, you chose to rate the movies and the shorts. For posterity, I was like, no, I'm just going to rate the movies, and then I did.
Okay.
My point being, there's no template, so we could go either way, or we could do the same thing, or I don't know.
Might as well just rate the shorts as well. Like, the same way we've been doing Summer Store, where we do 1 to 10. Might as well rate the shorts. Maybe they could be their own category, though.
For sure. All right. So, Madagascar 1. Are we going to rate that right now?
Do you want to do it all at the end? I can't remember how we did it in the other Summer of Stillers. Do we do them as we go?
Yeah, we did.
Okay. Yeah, Madagascar 1. Dude, is it?
Is this it?
Is this it? Is this the first 10?
It might be.
Dude, I'm like, of course, as we literally say in every single episode, we're probably going to change some of the shit in the summary of Stiller.
Right. Because we have so many that are just like the same score. We have like 6 that are like the same score.
Yeah, we give them the same score. We've also like given movies scores that like later movies have gotten, and we're like, there's no way those are the same.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
So everything is going to be adjusted for inflation.
But like right now, I'm trying to look. I remember you had like a dearth of high scores. I remember, like you only had like maybe 1 9, and it's The Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
Wow. I'm not saying I disagree
That's
with that, but
only 9.
I did not remember me even giving it that.
Well, remember how we were like, by the end of the 4 hours, we had convinced ourselves it was like the best movie of all time.
Yeah, we did.
It started.
it
We're
was
like,
secret-
yeah, this is a good Stiller movie, and then
They're like, this is just so good, and Ben Stiller is our favorite actors of all time.
yeah, I was a
Which
little more generous. I've given out quite a few 9s. Night Museum, Starsky and Hutch, Dodgeball, and Zoolander all got 9s. And Secret Life of Walter Mitty got a 9.5.
yeah, I think
Dare I give
Madagascar.
Madagascar a 10, honestly.
I'm locking it in. I'm giving Madagascar a 10.
Yeah, yeah.
You just cannot compete with. There's not one thing this doesn't have. Comedy, it's full. Story, it's good.
It is good. It's creative.
Emotion
It's interesting.
and emotion. I think that's something that's devoid of the other two movies that we didn't really get into. Is like, as they go on, the characters feel a lot more like caricatures. Um, Marty's a big. I think the biggest example of that. This beginning movie, he has such. The whole plot is based around his aspirations of going to the wild. And in the second movie, you mentioned like he's finally there. They kind of play with it a little bit, but we don't really get any. Like Marty is finally in the wild, and we don't really see his reaction to it beyond him being like reacting to these clones in this clone saga. Like,
I mean, he was in the wild in the first movie, but like,
yeah, but that was the island, Like,
yeah.
this is literally where he wanted to go. Anyway,
I don't know, man. I also didn't totally forget. Dude, I'm gonna be honest. I kind of, I don't even know if I should admit this, but like I kind of completely zoned out during the Madagascar 3 segment where you were explaining it.
that's
I was like, dude,
totally
I kind
fair.
of just didn't like this movie, and it was just like stopped paying attention to it. But like, I totally forgot to mention Melman, who, as you know, probably, I don't know if I'd say my favorite character, but potentially in the series, I think he's hilarious. His deliveries are so funny.
Yeah, David Schwimmer, man.
He had like 5 lines in the third one, not even exaggerating. He literally spoke in like 5 different scenes.
Yeah.
It's like, did they just like? It also seemed like I think Alex and Marty, out of the 4, Alex and Marty had like 10 times the amount of lines of Gloria and Millman, and Alex and Marty, had like 10 times less than like all the other new characters that I didn't care about.
That was a really good point.
It was just like kind of like weirdly like not really about them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sorry, Noah. Okay. There was some good bits in it, but all in all, overall not a fan.
Not even David Schwimmer's Melman. David Schwimmer, the guy from that TV show I can't remember the name of right now.
We all know from
You'll know from that.
yeah.
I just wanted to make the joke.
Dude, I remember me and Tenzin, we watched the first Madagascar, we're like laughing our asses off at that one delivery where he goes, "That's dumb." I don't remember. Try and play the audio here if you could find it. I don't remember what part of the movie it's from, but it's so good.
Why'd you bite me?
Man, it's because you are his dinner.
What?
Excuse me?
That's dumb.
Come, Maurice. What is a simple bite on the buttocks among friends? Here, give me a nibble.
The party is over, Julian.
Oh my god, it's gonna bother me. It's really gonna bother me. Why'd you do that to me?
Transcript moment.
I should know that.
No, I know.
That's dumb.
It's
Gotta
in
be
like
in
the
the
lemur.
zoo. Oh, you're right.
Oh wait, maybe it is.
Now I'm confused. I thought it was the zoo, and then you said lemur, and now you're saying
Oh yeah. It's because it's when Maurice is explaining that Alex the Lion's a predator, and he's like,
true.
"He's gonna eat you," and it's like, "That's dumb."
That's so true. Oh my god.
No, yeah, David Schwimmer's so funny. I feel
Yeah.
bad not having seen him in like other shit.
Dude, I rewatched those Curb episodes before I remembered that we gotta do it, which I'm fine with. But they're so good.
I want to just watch Curb like chronologically. I got into like
Dude, I
season
finally
2.
finished. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember why I stopped.
The thing is, the thing with, at least, okay, I can only speak for myself, but like, Curb is like when I first started watching, I'm like, this is fucking hilarious. This is so good. And I delved into it and I watched, this is like during COVID too. So it's like watching at least one, if not more episodes a day, back to back. You're going, you're going, you're going. Suddenly I'm in season like 7 or 8 or whatever. And then you just get distracted with something else. And then it's like, it's not like you get, I don't want to say you get sick of it, but if you watch 7 seasons of it back to back, the formula, even though, okay, I don't want to launch into a curb segment. I was going to talk about the genius of how there is like, there's like a very loose script outline,
Right,
and
right,
most
right,
of it is
right.
improv. So it's like that's genius. So I don't want to say like it has necessarily a format that I got sick of. I think I just burned myself out. Let's just leave it there. Anyway,
No, fair enough.
I burned myself out. Left it alone for like a year. COVID sort of ended. Back to school. Forgot about it, and then this like Thanksgiving break ish time, I finally finished the newest like 2 seasons, and man, it's good. It's so good.
Right.
They're actually filming season 12 right now.
12. God
Yeah.
damn. That's absurd. Yeah, I definitely need to get into it again. I didn't even get burned out. I think I got distracted by something because I was
Yeah, no,
watching it on
it's a
a hard
mix.
drive on my Xbox, and it was like really inconvenient setup. But like something
Yeah.
happened, and I just stopped watching. Seinfeld did burn me out. That was an example where like I watched like a
True.
bunch of seasons in a row with my brother,
Mhm.
and it got. Here's the funny part. We've talked about how infuriating Jerry can be.
Oh, yeah.
It got
Do
to the
not
point.
get me started.
The reason we stopped watching it is because he was like literally making us too angry to continue watching. Like this guy's so annoying. And then eventually they re-added it, or they added it to Netflix like a year ago or something. And I picked it up where I left off and finished it, and I was like,
Do you know
I
do you know
enjoyed
the
it.
difference between I'll tell you the difference between a good performer and a bad performer. We'll use the example of David Schwimmer and Jerry Seinfeld. Okay. The that's dumb line. The that's dumb line coming from David Schwimmer is hilarious. It's perfect delivery. It plays off the sarcastic yet oblivious nature of Melman. It's great. Imagine Jerry Seinfeld saying, "That's dumb." It's annoying. It's
He's a dick.
he's just a dick. Okay, guys, if you don't know this, go back and listen to the Coming to America episode where we talked about Coming to for like 40 minutes, then talked about Jerry Seinfeld for like an hour and a half.
Yeah, dude. That's like that was like my first like co-hosting ish
Yeah.
episode.
Well, you were on like 2 of the quarantine ones, right? And then you were busy with traveling and all that.
Right, yeah.
And then there was the golden era of spring 2021.
Classic. Yeah.
Truly the renaissance.
Hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we could do a whole fucking Seinfeld, Jerry Seinfeld, fucking
Yeah.
Curb Your Enthusiasm episode, just all kinds of shit.
Oh yeah.
Truly, I was looking at David Schwimmer's filmography just to see. I have not seen him in much, but there is something else I saw him in. No memory of it being him. He was an alien soldier in John Carter. I don't know if
What?
your knowledge of John Carter, I don't know where it stands.
Just
It was like,
the trailer and commercials when I was a kid.
right. I remember it was 2012, right?
Oh wow.
And I remember it was like a huge like financial sunk cost for Disney. Like
Yeah.
apparently compared to like what they put into it versus what they got out of it was like devastating.
Oh, they wanted it to be
And
like Avatar, basically. Like,
exactly, exactly. And I watched it and I'm like, okay, for a fucking like I watched it never having heard of it before watching it like 3 years ago maybe. And I remember thinking, this is kind of boss, and the special effects are actually really good. Obviously not Avatar tier, but I remember thinking it was really cool.
yeah.
And I was like, why did people hate this? Like, this is like pretty cool. Maybe it's because it's not like a typical Disney movie, but I mean, does Disney really even have its own like feel anymore now that they've branched off into literally every single like genre on Earth?
That's a good
Even
point.
like early 2000s, but like Pirates of the Caribbean, that's not like stereotypical Disney. That shit was awesome. I don't
Dude,
know.
I cannot wait for our Pirates episode.
True, that'd be good. That'd be good. Anyway, I just think
Yeah.
it's absurd that he played a young warrior in John Carter.
So it's probably like a cameo, right?
Yeah, but why? He's
I
like
mean,
his filmography is kind of like reserved. It's not like super like
it's kind of like in the new Star Wars
extensive.
movies. You know, like Daniel Craig plays like a stormtrooper in The Force Awakens.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
Does
because
he
it's just
even
like
take off his helmet?
no, because the cameo, the extent of it is just like Daniel Craig really likes Star Wars, so he came to set one day and we put him in a stormtrooper suit. My point being,
It's like
maybe that's what it was for David Schwimmer.
yeah, maybe.
Maybe his kid
I don't
really
know.
likes John Carter. You know what I mean? Like,
Right, yeah. Dude, so facts. Dude, okay, here's what I'm gonna say. You know the trivia from Deadpool about Brad Pitt, or the sequel to
yeah,
Deadpool 2, where Brad Pitt's like the
he's the
Invisible
invisible. Yeah,
Man. I think it's insane that Brad Pitt has that reputation because he did the same shit with Jackass, where I don't know if you've seen the bit where like it's the Jackass crew dressed up in like gorilla suits, like the fucking one from SpongeBob, and they're like vandalizing shit and like doing skate tricks in LA and just like fucking around. And then it's like revealed at the end, like Brad Pitt takes off the gorilla mask and it's him. And there was another one where it's like just about him doing one specific bit, and then at the very end, I don't even think it shows him in it. It's just credited him as the gorilla suit, and that's like the joke is that they got Brad Pitt for a Jackass episode, and they
wow,
don't even show his face. It's
I
interesting that he
did
has
not
like
know
that.
that. Yeah,
Anyway,
well now he has a
about
different
30 minutes
reputation.
in, should we start talking about Madagascar?
True, I was gonna launch into the Brad Pitt allegations, but
True. Can you? Okay. I don't know anything about these, but I've heard about them, and it came as a dismay to me. It's like Shia LaBeouf. I'm like, bro, why you
yeah,
gotta
it's
why you
like,
gotta
is it like
disappoint
Ezra
me like
Miller?
this? No, because I didn't really care about Ezra Miller before this.
Okay, so apparently, according to Angelina Jolie, he choked one of his children, struck another in the face, grabbed her by the head, and shook her, and
God
poured
damn.
beer and wine on them in a private plane. Um, that's just like one of the many allegations she has about their marriage. Also, from what I understand, both like all the kids are on the mom's side, and the kid like posted something on Instagram on New Year's Day or something where it's like he was like, "Fuck you, you piece of shit!" Like no one knows who you really are, but like we do, and it's like a whole thing. And my point being, like both Angelina Jolie and all of the kids are saying that he's like apparently a terrible person. So um,
That's fucked.
yeah,
I didn't realize that.
it kind of sucks.
It does suck. Penguins of
You know
Madagascar
what?
starts with them.
Dude, that's literally the Jerry Seinfeld Larry King clip. Remember?
Huh?
Do you
No.
remember? Do you remember what? Did we watch that? Have you seen Jerry Seinfeld goes on Larry King, and Larry King is like, "So Jerry, Seinfeld, you got canceled after whatever how many seasons you canceled after 9 seasons. What happened?" And Jerry's like, "You think I got canceled? You think I got canceled? We were on the air for 10 years, Larry." And he like freaks out and like goes ballistic on Larry King. And Larry King's like, "Whoa, don't be so sensitive about it, Jerry." It's like a bit. I don't know. I swear we watched this anyway. Um, and Jerry's like, um, Larry's like, "I didn't mean it like that, you know. Most shows like they fall off at a certain point, and they get." What he was trying to say is that like the show ended after 10 years. Jerry took it as him saying the show got canceled because it fell off, so that got Jerry mad. So Larry's King is like, "Calm down, Jerry. I didn't mean it that way." And Jerry is like, "Most shows fall off," and Jerry's like, well, most people do too. And Larry King is like, okay, all right. And there's like a pause. He's like, okay, all right. B movie comes out tomorrow.
Dude, I gotta watch this. Hold on, I'm gonna try to find that.
I will literally find it for you. And you know what? We'll play it here for the audience.
Lasted how long?
9 years, 180 episodes.
You gave it up, right?
I did, sir.
They didn't cancel you. You canceled them.
You're not aware of this?
No, I'm asking you.
You think I got canceled? Are you under the impression that I got canceled?
Have I hurt you, Jerry?
I thought that was pretty well documented.
Is
this still CNN?
Don't most shows go down a little?
Most people do also. But, yeah, no, I went off the air. I was the #1 show on television, Larry. Do you know who I am?
Jewish guy, Brooklyn.
Yes.
Okay.
75 million viewers last episode.
Boy, don't take it so bad.
Well, that's the big difference between being canceled and being #1.
Okay, I'm sorry. We'll be right back.
Jeez.
B-movie opens.
Can we get a resume in here for me?
B-movie opens tomorrow.
Hey,
we'll be right back.
Dude, that is absurd. It's like unsettling,
like a curb
honestly. Yeah, it really is. It looks like something Larry David's character would do in Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah. Dude.
Which is not something you want to be said about you. I'm looking at you, Jerry.
Yeah. Dude, fucking when he says do you know who I am? Jewish guy, Brooklyn.
Yeah, Larry King has he pulled it off so well.
Dude, rest in peace.
True. So true.
Dude.
He really was able to maintain control and save face in that conversation.
Yeah, he could have easily gotten mad at Jerry for being a fucking stupid asshole. But
yeah, and Jerry is just there putting.
Oh, you think I got canceled? Can we get a resume in here?
There's a big difference between getting canceled and being #1. Yeah. Okay, dude. Unironically,
I like how defensive he is about a show that he has no creative part in. Anyway, go ahead.
True. I was just gonna say. Remember when we were like, I think we can wrap it up by midnight. Meanwhile, midnight is rolling around in 7 minutes. We haven't started the next Madagascar movie yet.
That begins now. Okay, before we do that, I have an idea. Okay, potential idea. What if we split up these into parts? So the Colton Madagascar trilogy is one episode. That's 2.5 hours,
True.
I have a feeling people might not want to watch if it's 4 hours.
Right. Yeah.
So if we split that up, we do a part 2 where we're talking about the shorts and whatever else we're talking about. Anyway.
That's not a bad idea.
We'll have to look into that. Okay.
Then it'll also be interesting to see the drop-off in views for part 2.
Yeah. 50 views to 4.
Yeah.
It's okay. We're doing this for us.
So, Penguins of Madagascar starts with a very, very brief clip that takes place directly, literally seconds after the third Madagascar movie ends. As they're flying away on their floating circus or whatever, it shows the silhouettes of the 4 main Madagascar animals
dancing,
and then the penguins are like, all right, fuck this.
Well, no, they're playing the Afro song in a meta commentary. They're playing the Afro song, dancing. The penguins are like, I can't stand this. Get out of here. Let's get out of here.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Maybe you should.
Yeah. Please
move into this because
this is a great.
Also,
movie.
Is this movie?
So, by the way, does this count as being rated under Summer of Stiller if Ben Stiller isn't in the movie?
Yeah, I was going to comment on that. I was going to say this is the only movie on this list that we're rating that he's not in.
It could go in maybe an honorable mentions or I don't know. We'll figure it out. Anyway, so before you actually were wrong. Before that, the first opening scene is the baby penguin.
Right.
Okay, so Skipper, Rico, and Kowalski, they're chicks. in Antarctica, and they see an egg roll off this like cliff near an iceberg, and they're like, "Isn't anybody gonna get that?" And they're like, "No, we gotta keep moving. We gotta go. The winter. It's time to hibernate or whatever. We gotta migrate." And so they go and rescue the egg. Also, by the way, great um, cameo from the documentary. What's his name? This is bad.
Yeah, so true.
Oh my god, how am I forgetting? That's bad. Werner Herzog. Werner Herzog.
Herzog, yeah, of course.
Great actor, great director. Um, anyway, they rescue the egg, and of course, it hatches, and it's private. And in this whole mini adventure, they decide they're going to stick together and be brothers. Then we cut to the present. They're leaving the circus. They launch out of a cannon. They're like, "Well, Private, it's your 10th birthday, and we're going to Fort Knox." And they break into Fort Knox, which is absurd. Um, all not for any gold, but to get the coveted cheesy Dibbles chips, puffed chips, for Private's birthday. Happy ding dong birthday, Private! And then he gives him a coin, and he, Private gets stuck in the machine, and they're like, the machine's alive! But no, it's actually been hijacked by an octopus. What? So they're kidnapped in this vending machine by an octopus, and they end up in Italy, Venice, Italy, yeah. And it's there they encounter the chief octopus named Dave, who can also shapeshift into a human. It's just something octopuses can do, apparently.
Well, it's not really shape shifting. It's just like squeezing his body into the right shapes.
But also, the clothes just appear out of nothing.
It's color, isn't it? Like he
Really?
can like change his skin color and pattern.
He
To
has
look
a
like
clear
it.
has a coat on. Like,
Well, I guess he didn't like create the coat out of nothing. He just was wearing a coat, right?
where's the coat when he's an octopus?
He threw it off, didn't he?
I think there's a moment where he turns into him later in the movie. Maybe I'm
From a
wrong.
plain octopus, he
Yeah.
turns into the scientist with clothing.
Yeah.
I don't know about that, bro. If
But you're
that's the
right.
case, that's just the magical realism of this movie, which takes it. Okay, so Madagascar 3 steps up the surreal, just absurdity. Like the first two movies, obviously they're like not realistic whatsoever, but they're like based in reality. The third one introduces like fantasy elements with, like we said, detective like breaking through brick walls and like bounding over buildings and shit.
Yeah.
Penguins of Madagascar takes it a step further and becomes like actually just like a cartoon like
Yeah.
caricature of our
Kind of
laws of physics.
almost Looney Tunes. Maybe not that far, but similar arena. Um. Anyway, Dave reveals that he was an exhibit at Central Park Zoo, but was outshined when the penguins got brought in to the zoo, and everyone stopped coming to his aquarium, and he kept getting shifted into smaller things. Eventually, I think next to a toilet. Um. Anyway, so that's his beef with the penguins, and he has developed a serum, which we don't know what it does yet, but some sort of serum that's gonna enact his revenge, basically. And so the penguins obviously try to flee and escape. So this is an action scene that takes place in Venice, Italy. They're on a gondola. Very, I think,
And like
I think one of
mopeds.
yeah, so true. I think one of the best parts of the movie, in my opinion, is it's like they knew exactly what they were getting into by making a Penguins movie, which is like, what do people want the most from these characters? Is just like fucking absurd, unrealistic action set pieces where they can do anything. You know what I mean? Like get on a gondola, drive it blind, go on the street and still be in the gondola using the oars and like go on walls and shit. You know what I mean? It's just like it's so good, and it's so always so smooth. Um. Anyway, penguins try to get away, but they can't, and they're cornered. cut to the North Wind, a team of super animals who save the penguins, led by a wolf named Classified, along with a polar bear and a seal and an owl. Okay, the wolf is played by Benedict Cumberbatch, by the way, and basically
Are any
he
of them, the other ones, voiced by anyone notable?
Ken Jeong voices the seal. Yeah, and so basically the rest of the movie is kind of like the penguins are like very juvenile and unserious, even though they get stuff done, which clashes with the North Wind's kind of protocol. And they try to, they realize that the Dave's plan is to take over the world, starting with eradicating all penguins with his serum that turns penguins into monsters, so they're not cute anymore. And also so that they're monsters. Basically, Classified as like, these penguins are a liability, and then ships them to Madagascar. It's pretty funny. But it's a plane to Madagascar this time. And the penguins, and I think another very smooth sequence, escape from the plane, and they basically like they plane hop through different planes.
That was a really good scene, actually.
It's so well done. The action is so entertaining. And anyway, they end up in Shanghai and come up with a plan.
There's a good bit when they get in Shanghai and they
True. Yeah,
I can't remember why. They think it's Dublin for some reason. And
maybe next to an Irish bar or something like that, maybe?
yeah, something like that. They're like, must be Dublin. And so they're like,
and they see on the TV
in
that they have to
Shanghai.
go to Shanghai.
Yeah. So they're like, rats, we're nowhere near Shanghai. We're in Ireland. So they mail themselves to Shanghai, and there's like this little bit where like the mail truck picks them up, and like 2 seconds later just brings them and drops them back at the exact same spot. And they get out, and they're like, "Oh, looks like we're in Shanghai." It's pretty good.
No, they I think he says it looks like Ireland or something, right?
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, he's like, yeah. So true. That's a
So
good bit.
funny, dude. There are some really good jokes in this movie. Anyway, their plan is to use Private as bait because there's this overlying theme in the movie that like Private is unrecognized by his brothers as being a valuable asset of the team. I think there's literally a moment where Private's like, "Skipper, for my birthday, I'd like to be a real and valued member of this team." And then like a minute later, Rico does something or takes out an octopus, and Skipper's like, "Good job, Rico. You are a real and valued member of this team," or something like that. And Private's like, "Oh,
yeah, true." Yeah. Dude, also, I just like looked at the transcript for fun, and I went to the part where they're talking about Ireland, and Kowalski's like, "For my calculations, we've arrived in the center of Dublin, Ireland." And Skipper's like, "All right, soldiers, we gotta blend in. River dance."
I think okay, well, I'll get to that at the end. But basically, trying to use Private as bait because Dave is coming to take out to get the they're dressed as mermaids, also, for what it's worth. To get these mermaid penguins from the Shanghai Zoo, he captures Private. They're unable to save him, and he gets taken back to the lair. Learns Dave's full plan. Now the penguins are back with North Wind, and they're clashing about the different plans that they have to use. Eventually, Skipper has to give in because they lost Private, and they have to distract the octopuses outside the lair. So they do this another Irish jig, sort of, I guess. This way to describe it.
Wasn't it a polka?
True. Very true. It was a polka.
Like, listen, I hate to keep coming back to the Dublin bit, but the part you said where he says it looks like Ireland, way funnier. Even it's so much better than I could have remembered. They pop out of the package thinking that they've now been shipped to Shanghai, and Skipper's like, he goes, "So this is it, Shanghai's famous Little Dublin district."
Dude, That is literally funnier than any singular aspect of Madagascar 3 and
True.
a lot of Madagascar 2 for that matter. That's like an S tier joke. Like,
Oh, it's so good. Just the fact they keep like they take it so far.
yeah, dude, it's the best kind of joke. It's my favorite kind.
Yeah.
It's like you get something absurd, you drive it in with there's nothing funnier than a confident ignorant person. I'm not saying Skipper is all the time. I'm just saying like as an element
In
of a
this
joke.
movie, that's kind of like the whole point of them, the Penguins,
Yes.
honestly.
Yeah, literally. It's yeah. My point being, God, so good. Anyway, so Dave, uses the Medusa serum on all the penguins that he's captured, unleashes them on New York City, and basically Private ends up just a long story short, Private ends up saving the day, and they turn Dave into they shrink him and trap him in a snow globe. Private's finally a valuable member of the team, and the movie ends. The North Wind gives them all jetpacks, and they fly back to the circus. Okay, and you and I had this question because there's this whole. I don't really want to go into the details, but basically, Private ends up getting hit with the ray, and is like fucked up when the movie ends. He has like a claw for an arm. His eyes like bulging. We're like, wait, so canonically is Private just always gonna look like this? And then there's literally a post-credit scene where, because they're back at the zoo, Mort appears, which, if I was in the movie theater, that'd be a standing ovation, Return of Mort. And they use Mort's cuteness to reverse Private's, like, ugliness. And they're like, it worked, boys! And they're like, well, what's gonna happen to Mort? Because they, like, transferred the energy or whatever. And then he swallows King Julian.
Dude, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yo, what does that mean?
Dude, I don't know. But, yeah.
There you go. Pretty good movie. Kind of the opposite of Madagascar 3 in terms of my expectations versus reality. I was not expecting it to be good, and it was very good.
Yeah. I think,
Exact opposite of Madagascar 3.
I think what I was gonna say earlier is, like, well, the story isn't, like, perfect, and it can be a little redundant / cliche at times, especially towards the end. I think the movie is solidly carried by the dynamic of the penguins, firstly, and most importantly, by having nonstop just good jokes and just really entertaining to watch action.
Yeah.
I think this is like the if and when I do another Madagascar watch through, I think I'd watch 1, 2 penguins. There's no reason to watch 3 ever again. So yeah. So now, yeah.
What does this mean, though? Like,
What?
for King Julian and Mort? Is that,
I mean,
hypothetically, if all of this, including the TV shows, were all chronologically placed, is this the most recent thing that happens? Because I think all the TV shows are prequels.
so we think. We really don't know, do we?
Oh, King Julian, the show, we watched the pilot episode, and it starts before he's
No,
even...
that I know. Penguins,
That
we don't
has to be. Well, doesn't the Penguins take place at the zoo?
Yeah, but I mean, the early seasons do. Who knows what kind of shit they pulled in later seasons?
True. That's something we'll get to
In the
the
Sabbath.
Decade of Stiller, because it's going to take that long to watch the whole show.
The Decade of Stiller.
Dude, I almost started watching... I had like some food and just some free time, and I was going to watch some shit, and I came this close to putting on All Hail King Julian.
Dude, you should have told me. I would have caught up.
Yeah, well, I was like, first of all, I was like, I can't just watch this and be like, hey, Nabil, guess what? You're like an hour behind.
Uh,
But I also just didn't have the energy to like. I was like, what if I don't like it and I'm just like wasting my time here? You know what I mean?
what if somebody walks in and sees me watching this?
That too. That too.
How would Jessica react if she walked in and saw you watching Penguins of Madagascar or All Hail King Julian?
I'd be like, oh, please, it's for the podcast, I swear.
Justin?
Do you think so? Speaking of Rupert Everett, apparently he's directed and starred in a new movie that just came out called
Holy shit.
the something Prince, the Good Prince, I think. It's about Oscar Wilde like dying in his like bedroom or something, and he plays Oscar Wilde. Needless to say, it's on my list to watch.
True. I don't know if I've seen anything that he's done outside of Shrek.
Yeah, I don't think I know what he looks like, but I'm curious to see if he does if the charming voice is his voice, or if it's just like his character voice.
He's like a dramatic, like serious, like Oscar-worthy, like performance. He's just like, what do you think?
Yeah.
Dude, oh man, I wonder if he has any. I'll look into see like if he has any interviews about Shrek or something.
That'd be awesome. I said it during the Shrek episode. OG fans will know this. He's my favorite character in the Shrek series.
Well, I mean, yeah, true. You did say that. Okay, so should we dive into these shorts?
Yeah. Let's knock this shit out, bro. We're already okay, it's fucked up. We're already going on like 3 hours. We've like reached Shrek episode levels.
Yes, we have.
Okay.
But it's gonna be possibly split up, so you know.
True. Okay. Sure. It starts with the best one, in my opinion.
Yes. The classic, the one on the Madagascar DVD, the Madagascar Penguins and a Christmas caper. And you mentioned earlier in the episode or last episode, depending on how this gets published, you mentioned in Madagascar 1 the New York aesthetic. So strong. Just in that movie, just in those few little scenes. And we literally get it's Christmas. It's like a present because we get it's just the whole thing takes place in New York.
Yeah,
Snowing in New York too.
Jerk off session
for me.
Yeah.
Just me. But yeah, basically
Jewish guy, Brooklyn.
Yeah, so it takes place apparently before the events of well, not apparently, it has to because it's in the zoo. They're in the zoo before the events of the first Madagascar. Private. This is classic Private, as we've seen in the Penguins movie. He befriends a lonely polar bear in the zoo named Ted. And so he's like, I want to go find Ted a present. Skipper, can we please get him a present? Can he be part of our Christmas? Skipper's like, no way, that guy's a loser. Or something. I don't know, says something like that. And Private decides to escape the zoo, roam the streets of Manhattan to find a toy for this, or a present for Ted. He's captured by the infamous Nana because he's pretending to be some sort of trinket.
Yeah, like a toy. Like
a toy
or some shit.
Or maybe
she
it's
thinks
a toy.
He's a dog chew toy.
Yes, a dog chew toy. And she picks him up and takes him to her apartment. Of course, the other penguins have to come rescue him. And this escalates into a pretty fun scene between the dog and the penguins, and them having to basically fight the dog and trash her entire apartment in this fight. Very entertaining.
It really feels like Madagascar content,
Yes, for sure.
It's got the same.
Mm-hmm. And Rico ends up bombing the apartment. And
she still made it into Madagascar too, so.
Yeah, Jesus. Also, they basically you see her when you last see her, she's like the dog did this. She's like, Mr. Chu, very bad. It's like the dog bombed her apartment. Like it's absurd. I always felt bad for the dog, when I was younger.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
it was implied that she like beats it afterwards as punishment.
Yeah, dude, I genuinely felt bad for the dog when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Anyway, at the end, they invite the polar bear, and turns out all the other classic characters are there, and they all sing Jingle Bells. Melman smells. Something, I forget. Yeah.
Yeah. The penguins laid an egg, maybe, I don't know.
Probably. That's probably literally it.
Yeah. That was a good one. It was nice, to the point, high and tight. I was home for dinner. It was just fun. Good old clean
I think that is
family farm.
it's the quintessential, it's like the template for like a good animated short.
A little short, you know what I mean?
Is it short? It's fun. It fits the tone of the movie. It adds.
I like the concept of it being about side characters and not the main characters.
Yes, so true. I think that's an issue.
Megamind Bernard short would have been.
Yes.
I mean, that's a whole other thing though, because that's just more Stiller content,
True. Even a Minion short, some
Yeah.
David Cross.
David Cross
Dude.
shines,
I totally forgot we have to talk about Megamind. Holy shit.
and
Okay.
Elmo's Christmas countdown, bro. Okay, next short. Let's just dust it off.
Madly Madagascar.
Madly Madagascar.
This
the
one was pretty
Valentine's Day
Joker.
skit. It was so weird. It was so weird, actually. Now that I think about it, dude, it wasn't bad. It was not bad, honestly.
The basic premise is King Julian find. Okay, so
Oh
there's
wait, there's the other one. Merry Madagascar. That takes place before
Oh,
Madly.
true. Mary Madagascar. Okay,
That takes place after the first movie, but before the second one.
very
Where
true.
they're still on the island, but they're like
Yeah,
already been integrated with the lemurs.
it's a TV special. Basically, it's comparable to Shrek the Halls, basically, in format. But basically, so they we start with the animals trying to get back to New York City in a hot air balloon from the island, but the lemurs are like, it's the marauding red knight goblin, and they take out the balloon. Of course, this is referring to Santa, and then Alex accidentally takes out the actual Santa,
True, with
which
a coconut
gives-
bomb or some shit.
yeah, and Santa crashes and gets amnesia. So Santa's reindeer are like, nah, we're not fucking doing shit without Santa. So like, Christmas is gonna be gone. It's gonna be dead. No more Christmas unless we do it. So
Private
Yeah.
almost fucks a reindeer.
true, dude. There's so Private, yeah, he has a classic little. It's kind of like in Penguins movie when Kowalski is in love with the owl. Very similar moment where he's like, love at first sight with this reindeer. Very funny still that I was telling Justin about. That I took a screenshot of, where he has a little moment, and then it gets cut by Private slapping him to the ground, and his face is like his eyes are bulging out of his face. It's a hilarious still that it freezes on. Anyway,
Yeah, I just found the picture you sent me of it.
the Madagascar crew is now in Santa's sleigh making deliveries. They accidentally crash into an apartment. Little girl is there. She's like, what the whoa, it's Santa's helpers, what? Okay. Simultaneously, on Madagascar, the lemurs are presenting gifts to Julian for something he's created called Julianuary. And Santa's like slowly regaining his memory and kind of teaches Julian, the meaning of Christmas is to give everybody a gift, not just yourself. So the animals originally, they can't go back to New York because they're like, we only have enough dust to go back to one place, and they're like, we need to go home to rescue Santa. They go home and they
To
crash
Madagascar, not necessarily.
Yes, true. Madagascar crashing into Santa again, but this time it restores his memory. And yeah, so Christmas is saved. And
He says Julian's off the naughty list, and Julian's upset before he realizes he doesn't know what the naughty list is.
so true. Yeah, so that's that. Mary Madagascar. How'd you feel about it?
It was okay. Kind of weird.
Not as
Kinda
weird
felt
as
like a-
Madly.
Nah, yeah.
This felt like if it was included on a DVD, I'd probably if I'm showing it to a kid, I'd probably, why not? I think it's obviously absurd and non-canon, but it fits sort of. So,
Yeah, it was decent.
all right. With that, we can move on to Madly Madagascar from 2013. I'm gonna be honest, I won't be able to give a very in-depth plot of this because the fuck happened in that I don't know. But basically, I think there's a
So-
plane and it drops some perfume,
Yeah.
and King Julian's like, "Oh, it's a love potion," and then
Is that your
starts
King Julian voice?
no, no.
Can you do a King Julian voice?
Give me a line.
Fuck. Why'd you gotta...
Got him. You give me
You
a
gotta-
line, and I'll do the voice.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say the one where he's giving Moment advice on how to ask out Glory. He's like, you gotta look in her eyes. You gotta walk up to her. You gotta look in her eyes. And you gotta tell her... I can find it. Fuck. I can't find it.
Just listen. you got to look it up. No,
Oh yeah.
Go to look-
Okay, so he's like, you've got to march right up to this woman, look her right in the eye, lean forward just a little, or almost all the way. Then you let her lean forward a little until you're just a lip's distance away from each other.
Dude, that was an insane bit of improv. Clearly improv.
Yeah. Then you
Um,
tell her how much you hate her.
It's a good bit. Okay, let's move on. Madly Madagascar. He gets perfume, says it's a love potion, starts selling it to people in the watering hole. And I'm gonna be honest, this kind of sucked ass. It was kind of all over the place. Didn't feel cohesive. Didn't feel like Madagascar.
Yeah.
There's like a sort of funny bit where Marty is like super attractive and every animal wants to like fuck Marty. But it didn't really go anywhere. I don't know. I didn't really like this, to be honest. What do you think?
Yeah, it was okay, kind of forgettable. It was just yeah, he had a potion that would make everybody fall in love with you, and everybody wanted it except Alex, who was like sad that no one loved him without the potion because he was used to being loved in New York, but now he's not.
Yeah.
And he learned that friendship is true love, and then everyone else learned the same thing. It was kind of, why'd they make a Valentine's Day short? Like, why do all the shorts have to be holiday themed, and why did they choose Valentine's Day?
It's a direct to DVD Valentine's Day short film. So there's a separate DVD for this.
That's awesome.
Insane. Okay, so is that it?
Yeah. Megamind.
Okay. Megamind. Now, I had not seen Megamind since literally it came out. So
Really?
I was going into this kind of blind. I remember general plot, very specific iconic jokes, Ulo. Is that it? Ulo. Olo. But yeah, I did not know what to expect. Obviously, people had always been raving about it, but I still wondered, will it hold up? And the answer is okay. It's late.
What's the answer?
Yeah, I think it held up. It was
I
very
agree.
entertaining.
Yeah.
A lot of great
I thought there
jokes.
was actually some really funny parts.
I genuinely do want to rewatch that the next time I get the opportunity, if it's on Netflix again, I'd happily watch it. If it was available. Do we go through the plot?
We could serious speed run it. I'm talking I'm gonna pull up a timer, see if we can do it in a minute.
We can.
gonna be-
Question is, will it be coherent?
All right, fair enough. Okay, you ready?
Who's doing it?
Are you gonna start? What if we trade off every 10 seconds?
Every 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay, how do we indicate we're
Okay.
trading off? Just like,
I'll tell you when 10 seconds are because I'm looking at
okay.
it. I'll be there. I'll say give me a good word, a good code word to switch. Time. There you go. Simple
Okay.
as.
All right.
Okay. Ready? You're gonna start. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so in a direct parallel to Superman, the classic Superman movie, Christopher Reeves, Superman's Megamind's home planet.
Time. His home planet is destroyed and he's sent to Earth, but also Superman is sent, and his name is Metro Man. So they're both sent to the same planet, and they both are raised as babies together on the same planet. Time.
And of course, as an adult, he's aided by his fish companion Minion, who Megamind's in prison now.
Time. He escapes from prison with help from Minion, and it's revealed he's a supervillain, and he has a huge rivalry with Metro Man. And his whole thing is that he loves being evil and everything about being evil, and he always loses. Time.
Of course, now this time he's fighting Metro Man. Things don't really go as planned because, as usual, Megamind always fails. He's the villain, but this time he actually ends up winning because it turns out Copper.
Copper's Metro Man's weakness. He ends up dying. Mega Man takes over the city, realizes he doesn't want to be evil anymore because he falls in love. Time. And that was a minute. That was a minute. Of course, we failed. Should we keep trying to go see how long it actually takes us with the 10-minute swap?
Okay. Okay. Wait,
okay.
I'm not gonna lie, you froze. You froze for a second back there. I didn't even hear your last 10 seconds.
Goddamn. Okay. I said he takes over the city. Okay, yeah. Copper's Metro Man's weakness, so Megamind takes over the city.
Okay.
And is evil taking over the city. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
But of course, he falls in love with Roxanne, who's the reporter that was associated with Metro Man. Now, he takes the form of Ben Stiller's character, a custodian.
He can shapeshift and take the form of other people. So he takes Ben Stiller's form. So she thinks she's falling in love with Ben Stiller's character, but in reality, she's falling in love with Megamind. Time. I think it started on an odd number, so I don't. Okay.
That's fine. We'll start from there.
Yeah. 3,
Okay.
2, 1.
So of course, he decides he needs to create a new villain to give himself meaning. This is Jonah Hill's character, named something I don't remember, but he disguises himself as Space Dad.
True. Time. Jonah Hill is being raised by Space Dad, Megamind, to become a villain or a hero, but he actually ends up becoming a villain. Time.
And of course, this is right as he's dating Roxanne, and everything comes to a head when Roxanne realizes that she's been dating Megamind. And of course, this is insane because Jonah Hill's character is finally
Jonah Hill's character is finally becoming evil and starting to take over the city, and Megamind is falling in love with Roxanne, but she doesn't want him anymore because she knows he's Megamind. Time.
And of course, this all comes to a head when Jonah Hill's character kidnaps Roxanne and challenges Megamind to a fight, and he fights him. Am I right? I don't even.
He destroys Megamind, and Megamind flees to go find a secret, and he finds a way to beat Jonah Hill, and he finds that Metro Man's still alive. Time.
Roxanne is also there and finds out that he's still alive. I don't remember, so I'm sorry.
Okay.
Metro Man won't help them. Metro Man won't help them.
He refuses to help them. But then suddenly, Megamind is getting the shit beat out of him by Jonah Hill, Roxanne is, or some shit, and then Metro Man shows up to save them, and then it revealed it's actually Megamind disguised as Metro Man. Time.
And of course, this is when Megamind finally outsmarts Jonah Hill's character by using the dehydration cube to basically trick him, defeats him with a gun, and takes away his powers for good. Finally, leaving Metrocity with a savior.
There you go. Took us a little over 3 minutes, I think. The timer got a little fucked up, but
I mean, that is quicker
could have
than
been
we
worse.
normally would have done
True,
it.
true.
So
We covered most of the
probably pretty
points.
funny.
Yeah. I think the first
Probably more.
minute was. Huh?
I said probably. Do you think that was more entertaining than us talking about it for 15 minutes?
It's hard to say. You get more.
Or are you gonna?
There's more dead space when we're normally going through a full breakdown, but there's also more content to cover, so there's gonna be more bits and like little funny pieces here and there. This was kind of just a little rip red and rocket.
Yeah.
Okay. Almost Christmas countdown. Oh, maybe we should just briefly take a little moment to address Ben Stiller's role in Megamind. He was just a side character. His character
Yeah.
was designed physically to look like a parody of Ben Stiller, I think. I mean, he wore like a turtleneck and had like crazy Ben Stiller hair, so it kind of made sense.
Yeah. He literally has like 3 lines in the movie. He's in the post-credit scene too.
True.
Where he accidentally gets rehydrated in a washing machine. He's like, "This has been the worst day of my life," and then Minion just knocks him out.
With the forget me stick.
Yeah. Hilarious. I don't know what
He also
more there is.
produced it, right?
True. Yes.
As you mentioned to
to
Colton, directed by the same guy who did the Madagascar movies.
Tom
which
McGrath.
Make it good to fit into this episode, I guess.
Yeah, because it's got Stiller, it's got the Madagascar director. I think it works.
Yeah. No, it was good. It was good. Brad Pitt as Metro Man.
Yes.
He's been covered as a topic in this episode. So
He's been covered for sure. But yeah, I think if people should give Megamind a chance because I did, and it turned out great. It's a good movie. I liked it.
Almost Christmas Countdown. Didn't I think we all know that we added that to the list as kind of a joke. Like, we see Ben Stiller
do you think so?
with Elmo. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
what we were not expecting was for him to be the main character.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like, I'm sure you probably thought the same thing, kind of like the Hubie Halloween, where he's like in it for like 2 seconds as like a cameo.
Yes.
Or like one of those things where it's like, because I haven't watched, but I've seen the concept of like Sesame Street, like events where it's like a short, like a hour long or some shit, and they have like 50 fucking celebrities come in for it. I thought it was going to be one of those things, and Ben Stiller's just one of them that comes in, and he has like a little bit, which is what this one was. It's just he wasn't one of the celebrities that came in as a bit. He was just the main character for some reason, as a Muppet.
Right. Like, it literally should be called Ben Stiller's Christmas Countdown.
Yeah. Stiller the Elf.
Dude.
It was funny, they decided to call him by his last name.
Yeah, the movie opens from the POV of Ben Stiller as the elf, which is absurd to us because we're like
a first person like flying through the air.
Yeah, and he's like passing by the other elves, and one of the elves is like, "Hey, Stiller."
yeah.
Which flabbergasted us because we did not expect his name in this to be Stiller.
Yeah. Yeah, it was
anyway.
crazy. He was kind of like Bernard. His elf, his Muppet was like a caricature of what he looks like. He had like bushy eyebrows and like, yeah, it was good. It was refreshing.
There's also this snowball that he's telling this story to in the future of what happened in the Christmas Countdown. Do you remember this? And the snowball was just like what I assume would be in between commercial breaks. He's back with the snowball, and he's like, "All right, snowball." And the snowball's like, "Oh, what happened then, Stiller?" And he's like, "Well, for that you have to see this." And then he tells the story. But also, every time he's with the snowball just decks him.
Yeah, without fail, every single time he gets hit in the head and like gets flung to the ground.
And I was commenting how it's just so great how every Ben Stiller like role, animated, live actions, TV, movie, whatever he appears in, cameo or not, it has to include him getting fucked in some way, beat up, shit on, like whatever.
Right, yeah.
It's like his signature comedic like motif. Like it's I love it.
He's like a modern day Charlie Chaplin.
I also like a lot of the time when they did it, it wasn't just like he's a Muppet. Obviously, he's being puppeted, so it's not like sometimes it was like, he gets hit, he flies off screen. There was one specific time I noticed where he got hit by the snowball, and you see him like plant backwards, and his legs are like on screen flying up. It's insane. And like I was wondering like how they did that with the puppet. Did they just throw it? I don't know. But
Dude, I don't know. The Muppet, like Sesame Street and the Muppets, like puppetry is fucking next level.
I actually recently, sorry.
I was just gonna say I've seen some behind the scenes like pictures of it, and it looks insane. Like they have like 20 people back there. Like it is pretty absurd.
I watched a like 4-part YouTube. Some guy on YouTube made like a documentary about Jim Henson's like life and career, and each different stage from like Sesame Street to the Muppets, or Muppets to Sesame Street to Craggle Rock to like his whole life and like aspirations. Sorry, yeah, I don't know why I said Craggle.
Spicy Rocks.
Yeah, literally, I don't know what's going on. It's late. My point being,
Schneider cut.
Yeah. My point being, Jim Henson, so admirable, and the Muppets Sesame Street is like, it's top tier. You know what I mean? It's
definitely.
It's withstood the test of time, and I think it will for a long time, if not forever. My point being, I don't know why we were so like begrudgingly dragging our feet into this. More so, I guess, from a time perspective of like, oh, it's an hour long.
Yeah.
But like, it really wasn't that bad to watch. I feel like if I had a kid, I'd show them this. Like it was very entertaining. Like,
yeah, I agree.
That said,
it had a lot of celebrity guests that we just skipped because we didn't. It was like.
Well, we were on a time crunch.
We're on a time crunch.
If there was a song,
they didn't have Ben Stiller.
Yeah, if there was a song and Ben Stiller wasn't in it, we'd listen to the first like 10 seconds and then just skip the other 50 seconds. Like
most of them. There was a couple notable examples. First, let me just say, can you really expect us to listen to literally someone I've never heard of in my life sing some random Christmas carol to Elmo for like 4 minutes? No.
Well, you know what that person would say? They'd say, well, Justin, you watched Shrek the Musical. What makes you think it's okay to skip this one? What do you say to them?
We didn't skip it. We skimmed it, and we watched all the parts that had the metaphorical Shrek in them, which is Ben Stiller. That's what I say to you people that are criticizing me right now.
Justin, you didn't skip the 3 Fiona song, but you still complained about it.
Oh, so true. Why did you literally just remind me of something I'd peacefully forgotten about?
Dude,
look, we're jaded, okay? Can you blame us, bro? We don't have the motivation of our youthful selves.
From 2 years, a year and a half ago.
Bro, okay, Shrek episode era Justin Nabil would have unironically watched the TV shows for All Hail King Julian and Penguins of Madagascar.
Yeah, but also Justin Nabil from back then didn't have school and played Fistful of Frags for 4 hours every night.
Yeah, all right. It was COVID, okay? That's a great reason.
No, it was great. It was great. Yeah. Okay. What are you talking about? Elmo.
Oh, right. There's a few that we didn't skip.
There were some that were shorter, and it didn't make sense to just, throw away the flow of things just to skip 20, 30, 40 seconds. Big Bird did a good job, I think.
Yeah, who was his celebrity with? Oh.
Who was it?
I can't remember why we didn't skip that one.
Who was that one? Meryl Streep?
You'll have to look it up yourself. No, I don't think so. I think the fans might just have to.
Okay, so guys, look up. I can't remember. If you guys could just, I don't really feel like typing it in. Elmo's Christmas Countdown, celebrities. It's the one that's with Big Bird. There was some reason I did not want to skip that. Um,
Anyway,
Anyway,
the other one we didn't skip was Jamie Foxx's, which was absurd.
okay, Jamie Foxx
Because
was like the most like David Lynchian thing I've ever
it
seen.
was Lynchian. It was so weird. Because the rest of them were like celebrities covering real songs.
Yeah,
Like
it's
Alicia
fine.
Keys covered Silent Night or some shit like that.
Yeah,
Jamie Foxx comes in, writes his own song. It's like abstract as hell, and it's this weird like 3D rendered music video with him like green screened in front of it dancing with Elmo. It is so bizarre, but
yeah.
it was a really good song and it was really funny. And I was like, dude, this is actually insane.
Do yourself a favor, guys, and just go look up Jamie Foxx Sesame Street clip because that shit is so strange. Elmo is like 3D, but also there are normal puppets of like a Mouse King
Oh
and
yeah,
other
that was
puppets.
weird. It's like the Nutcracker song, right?
Yeah, something like that. And then
Elmo is the Nutcracker, and he
yeah,
like, dude, he
break
like
dances.
it starts with Jamie Foxx as an action figure inside a box, and
True.
Elmo comes over and like pecks the box open until Jamie Foxx is like released.
Dude, I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Have you ever seen Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared?
Yes,
That's what it
dude,
was. That's literally what it was.
it was so weird, dude.
It was just
Yeah.
horrific, that beginning, the pecking.
Yeah, it was honestly kind of upsetting, but it was very fun.
Oh, literally, I think a kid would get scared by that.
It kind of okay. Funny you should say kid would get scared by it because in the moment it kind of reminded me of that Pixar short of like the baby and like the toy.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like a guy with it was like a drummer, right?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't
It's kind
remember
of creepy, but like
details,
similar thematically
yeah.
with like some weird 3D animation and like Christmas themed.
I'd love to get an interview with whoever was behind that this sequence, Um, but yeah. Anyway, I mean, very solid special, great Sesame Street charm. Kevin James shows up. He's as Santa at the end.
True, forgot about that.
It's pretty great.
There's a nice
Um,
Brad Paisley song that you can just skip. Real, real simply.
really, all but one things you could just skip and just watch the Ben Stiller parts.
Yeah, Jamie Foxx and
Oh, sorry, two things.
the Big Bird. I can't.
Big
I don't know.
Bird, Big Bird, beep, 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 beep.
You know,
Okay.
Big Bird is 6 years old. I saw that on Jeopardy.
Jesus,
He's 6.
brother, he's been around since like 1970.
I know, that was part of the question. It was like, what television character has been 6 years old for like 40 years?
What's the point of saying he's 6 though? Because it's like, why 6? Because he's clearly intelligent enough to.
He's way smarter than it. At least in Elmo's Christmas Countdown. I can't really comment on his behavior in the other
I can
Sesame Street stuff
comment.
because I haven't seen it in a long time. But there's no way he's 6. He talks like a fucking adult in Elmo's
No,
Christmas
I was gonna
Countdown.
say even in other things, I remember one that I remember from childhood was there's this one where Elmo goes to Grouchland. Do
Okay.
you know this? Do you know?
No, I just think
Okay.
it's funny the way you're like commenting on it.
I'm telling you, I remember. I didn't know what. Actually, I
Okay.
did. To be clear, I didn't know what it was called until I randomly remembered it like 2 years ago and Googled and like searched clips to decipher my childhood memory. I was like, "There's a scene where there's a blanket. there's and Elmo's in a trash." Like I was like, and I strung together different clips, and I was like, "Okay, this is." And then someone was like, "Okay, there's a comment with," and I'm like, "Okay, that's what it was. It was Elmo goes to Grouchland."
Right.
The point being, I fondly remember multiple Sesame Street tier things from youth, and I definitely remember Big Bird talking like an adult. At least say he's like 14 or something. Why
Yeah.
6?
I definitely, as a child, never thought he was the same age as me. I always saw him as an
Yeah,
adult.
it's like yeah. He's also
Yeah.
10 feet tall.
Oh, he's big.
He's also a bird.
okay, I will give him one thing that was pretty 6 years old of him is that maybe even younger than 6 years old, he like didn't know the fucking alphabet. Yeah,
Wait,
remember the whole
maybe
song. There's like a
yeah,
famous song where he like reads it out phonetically because he doesn't know that it's not one word.
right.
Abskadexta, Jekomanovsky, some shit like that. Dude, it was like unironically. I'm gonna look it up. Big
We
Bird.
just film and
Yeah. Okay. Maybe you can play a clip of just him saying. You don't have to play the song, but just him. The part of the song where he reads out the alphabet as one phonetic word, and you'll see it's pretty similar to what I just said. It'll be in the
You cut out. You're saying you want me to
discography.
put that in?
I want you to play the clip of him reading it, like singing it out as a phonetic word, because you'll see it's similar to what I just tried to recreate.
Abkadevki Jekyllman is. Abkadevki Jekyllman is. It's the most remarkable word I've ever seen.
And we can put it in the bibliography.
Wouldn't that also show the person we're trying to think of who is in that song?
No, the alphabet song has nothing to do with the.
Was that a
Christmas
separate part?
Countdown.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a old school like Sesame Street song from like.
Oh,
the
you're talking about
fucking
old
80s.
school. Okay, yeah.
Dude, I'm talking about like, dude. If you don't know this song, you don't know shit.
Okay, I get it.
There's
No need to.
Swiss Army Man reference.
Okay,
Have you
I
seen
have not
Swiss
seen
Army Man?
Swiss. No, I haven't. I want to.
Episode over. Can we? It's 1 a.m. Can I go home, bro?
Summer
Do you
of
imagine
Swiss
Colton
Army Man.
was? Do you think Colton would have made
Dude,
it this far? If I hadn't given him the
no.
opportunity to bounce, do you think he would have like just
Okay,
interrupted us and been like,
let's be
"I'm
clear.
leaving"?
Let's be clear. I gave him the opportunity hours before we started because I knew this would happen.
My earbuds just died. That's how long we've been on this. I don't even have a backup. I have to use my computer speakers. Tell me if there's like an echo.
There's not. Okay, a
That's
little
good.
bit.
Okay. Good thing we're ending the episode. Okay. This.
Yeah, it's fine.
To
I
be
was
clear,
just
you
saying
gave him the option.
I gave him the option hours before when we were on talking in the group chat. Remember? I was like,
No.
it's probably gonna go. He's like, I feel sick, so my voice is fucked, and I was like, it's okay. Also, we're probably gonna take some time, so feel free to hop off at any point because people do that often.
Oh, true.
Anyway, it's okay.
Nice. Yeah, true.
We did.
Would have been like, all right, guys, we haven't even gotten to penguins in an hour. That is
Yeah.
interesting. Okay, so looking at the time, because it started a new recording after Colton left. It's been right now in like 40 seconds. It'll be an hour and 30 minutes since Colton left, and we didn't even start Penguins of Madagascar until an hour, right? I think it was, which means we've done the Penguins of Madagascar, Megamind, and Elmo's Christmas Countdown in 30 minutes, as opposed to like 3 hours doing the other Madagascar movies.
Yeah.
I mean, we did the same
And
thing with the Walter Mitty episode, remember?
what'd you say? Cut out.
I said we did the same thing with the Walter Mitty episode, didn't we? Where we spent so much time on it, didn't we? Just like cover like Greenberg
You know,
and
because it was like almost 4 a.m. and we are like, we have school. So we like sped through Meyerowitz. Otherwise, we would have easily gone to like 5 a.m.
yeah.
But also, we didn't start right away because when we stopped recording the other one, we just had a conversation with Colton about our lives.
That is
so
true.
you know, it's a factor.
30 minutes, it felt like. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, we did it. We have pretty much completed Summer of Stiller. How does it feel?
Kind of doesn't feel like it's over yet, but maybe it's because we have so many scraps of Stiller to finish, as well as the summary of Stiller.
Yes, lots of Sabbaths and scraps and summary left. But we will get to it in due time, and of course, also we'll start a new season. and do Puss in Boots, and we said we were gonna do Central Intelligence. Remember?
I don't remember that, but that's a funny idea.
I think it'll be good. I have pretty much nothing left to say. So, with that, I want to open up the plugging. Okay, I'm gonna plug Colton Weitzel. Guys, go check out Colton Weitzel's Instagram. He's not that active, but you should be following him. And I'm gonna plug the Big Bird Christmas Countdown song. That shit was fire. Great song, great visuals. Check it out. And I want to plug All Hail King Julian, the Netflix show. Might be good. We'll find out. And I want to plug The Last of Us TV series. It's fire. It's great. I've been watching that. I don't know why I sound sarcastic. It's really good. 2 episodes in. I like it a lot. And The Last of Us game. Yeah.
I really don't want to start it before the first season's done, though, because it's just going to be so annoying.
That's fair. There's still 7 weeks.
Fucking hell. Well, that gives me time to play the second game, then.
True. Are you going to start?
I
soon?
am. I
Okay,
finished
can we...
and then I started the short, The Last of Us Left Behind, which is like
the DLC.
Right. And I haven't finished that yet, but after I do that, I'm gonna play the second one.
I really wanted to hear your thoughts on this. So is it okay if we take... I promise I'll cap it at 5 minutes. We won't take more than 5 minutes. I want to know what you thought of The Last of Us ending. Spoilers for The Last of Us. Okay.
Yeah, duh, Mordecai. Me talking about the ending of it.
Yeah, I just being clear because otherwise someone's gonna say something. It's gotta be.
4.5 hours into the Madagascar episode, you're spoiling The Last of Us. Yeah, dude, kind of an insane ending. I guess I was expecting it to have a pretty impactful ending, but like, dude, it kind of came out of, not necessarily out of nowhere, but it kind of shocked me, honestly. I was like, fucking hell, I don't know what I expected, because I definitely did not expect you to bring her there and then they're going to be able to do anything. I didn't think it would work. I did not think it'd be, I was kind of expecting the Fireflies to be like extinct, because like every fucking time you try and get there, they're gone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Finally, you get there. I'm like, all right, what's gonna even, dude? Yeah, Joel goes hard in the fucking paint, bro. I know it's not. I know it's an option. It's optional as a player. It's a player's choice. But I did slaughter the neurosurgeons.
Dude, there's like videos of people doing different things to them. Like some guys like flamethrow them and shit. Like,
I shot them all at point blank.
I did that my second playthrough. It's you really feel like the villain.
I know you do, and that was kind of good. It kind of fit with like
which is the point,
right?
Because there's a lot of moral implications about what he did.
Yeah, I think what's even more fucked. Okay, there's a few things. First of all, it was kind of instinctual at first. The first doctor was. The other two.
I'd love to get like an animation of Joel saying this, but it's your words. It was instinctual.
I like burst in with a shotgun, expecting almost there to be a fight scene, and instantaneously shot the first scientist. And then,
oh my god!
There's 2 more, and I'm just like, I have to kill them. And like, it was kind of dawning on me what was happening. Like as I was murdering them, they were cowering in the corner. There was dialogue where one of them was saying, "Please, just take her and leave."
Yeah.
But I was like, I've already gone this far. And then you take her. The scientists are like massacred in heaps on the floor. I'm like, you enter the parking garage or whatever, and Marlene like approaches you, and she's like, "Joel, you can still hand her over and act like nothing's happened." And Tenzin was in the room with me when it happened, and he's like, "Bro, does she not know the scientists are fucking dead? Like, even if I gave her Ellie back, there's nothing to fucking The only fucking neurosurgeons left in the world have just been murdered by
There could
Joel.
be more.
Yeah, I know, but like, come on. The
Yeah.
three, clearly, if they were working on Ellie, they were the top ones that they had access to.
True.
I know there could be more. I'm just exaggerating.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
in the apocalypse, I just murdered like the three top ones. It's like so much worse than just
Possibly the
taking.
3 smartest people that humanity has left.
Yeah, but in all seriousness, pretty good ending. Kind of dark. Kind of like not kind of dark, very dark.
Yeah.
Him lying to her when she asks for the truth, and then it just fucking ending. It's like I don't want to even know the slightest bit about what the second one's about
I
because
won't.
I
Yeah.
honestly am just so curious to see what they do with it afterwards.
I'm very excited for your thoughts.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw this to you independently before, but I wanted to be known for the record. I think it's a great story. I think it's a genius writing move. I understand why people were mad, but I think if you continue to be mad, you just fundamentally don't understand both the writing and how a story works. I'll leave it at that.
Got it, bro.
That said, I don't think it's wrong if you dislike it. It's fine to dislike a direction, but I mean, there are certain people who are literally like brain dead about it.
Well,
So
I
I'm
look
not. I'm not.
forward to learning about the story as I play it so that I can see these opinions and
Yeah.
be
Well,
interested.
that's it's funny you say that because there's another factor is that the game got leaked before it came out, like a month before it came out, and people knew like the big spoiler like going in, which also ruined expectation. It was a whole fucking shit show. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm
Anyway,
looking forward to playing it.
I'm very excited. Also, like I
I
said,
like you actually capped that at 5 minutes, to be honest.
sorry,
Sorry, listeners.
sorry, listeners, but the gameplay is great no matter what, and show has been pretty awesome. I'm excited to see more. Anyway, I will cap it. Is there anything you want to plug?
I could think of a few things. Normally, I would like to think I don't try and plug a lot of my own personal production.
Oh,
You know,
here we
I'll
go.
plug
Here
King
we
Reef.
go.
I'll plug King Reef because respect to my man Ewan out there. I'll plug a few things. Let me plug the new Fistful of Frags update. They added horses. I mean, come on.
Yes,
That's
dude.
mind blowing. It's game changing.
We literally have to do another live stream at some point.
Yeah, true. I'll plug the giraffe scene from The Last of Us. Probably one of the coolest scenes in any like video game story mode that I've played in a long time, if ever, if not ever. And you know what? It's we all knew it was coming. Return of Justin Fisher YouTube channel.
Let's go.
There's a new video out. I'm not gonna say it's on par with. I'm not gonna say it's on par with how
Piracy.
how to
Hey,
pirate.
it's not how to pirate. It's how pirates pirate.
Yeah, it's how internet pirates illegally download content.
I love that. I wanted to say that because there have been multiple times since that first video. I've gone back and listened again for clips. There are multiple times where I'm like, "Yeah, guys, don't forget to check out Justin's how to pirate video," and you're like, "No, it's not how to pirate."
I was trying to set you up for something like that by saying
were you?
how to
Oh,
pirate.
shit.
Yeah, I'm glad I
That's good.
snowballed into that. Anyway,
Perfect synergy.
yeah. You can tell we've been doing this for a few years.
You can tell we're getting pretty good at this. It's 1 a.m. and there's 4 hours of recording. Yeah, we've gotten pretty good at this.
Anyway, yeah. So it's a new video for a different class, but I think it's a nice evolution. It's the next step, really. So check it out. It'll probably be in the bibliography.
Yeah, it will be.
Or you
Guys,
can
make
just
sure.
subscribe, hit that bell icon. Don't know if I'll ever
Yes.
post on the channel again, but you know,
No, you will. I'm sure you will.
for sure I will.
So you're here first, guys. Check out all those things. Check out Self-Guided Trip, St. Mark's National Wildlife Refuge, EVR 4922, January 21st, 2023, and all those other things. So we will be seeing you again very soon for some bonus Stiller, as well as season 6 of Filmatic. Oh, the big one. And I think 2023 is going to be even better for Filmatic. And Tower Heist 2, guys, leave a comment if we should do Tower Heist 2. Should we just rewatch Tower Heist and do another podcast on it?
I'm so down for that.
I think that'd be a good idea. We'll have to float it with the others.
And crew back.
Yes, 100%. Do the same bit in the beginning.
Yeah.
We'll brainstorm.
I'd also like to plug the bit that we did at the beginning of this episode.
Dude, the bit we did at the beginning might be our best yet. Anyway, we'll see you next time on Filmatic. I've been Nabil Sharif.
I've been Justin Nabil. He was Colton Whitesell.
See you later. As Ben Stiller would say,